from our 7 Tasmania studios. Your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Labor is claiming the state government has abandoned a promised heart centre at the Launceston General Hospital. But the Premier says that's not so, and he's knuckling down on the project, writing to the Prime Minister to secure needed funding.
Tasmanians are more likely to get heart disease than those in any other state. To address this dire statistic, the government promised to build a Northern Heart Centre at Launceston's General Hospital.
We've committed to the Heart Centre. We're at the planning and design stage.
The opposition claims it's a misleading promise.
He has also not allocated 1 cent of state money in his budget to actually deliver any component of this project.
The Premier confirmed he wrote to the Prime Minister in February seeking funding.
Jeremy Rockcliffe made it very clear on the 6th of March when he made this election commitment that it was a state election commitment. He did not talk about federal funding at that time.
I mean, seriously, you'd expect the state government here not to seek contributions from the federal government. I mean, really.
Also health-related, the Health and Community Services Union reiterating its concern over our ageing ambulance fleet, now claiming replacement has been pushed back even further.
We have yesterday received from the CEO of Ambulance Tasmania an email saying that they are now going to change it to 250,000 kilometres.
A claim the department disputes, saying the planned lifespan of AT's emergency response ambulances is 5 years or 250,000 kilometres travelled, and that it has an additional safety checklist for services of ambulance vehicles that have travelled more than 200,000 kilometres.
We think people will die as a result of this.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
A program providing legal services for women who are experiencing domestic and family violence has been extended with financial support from the state government. The Just Healthy Families program allows for trained lawyers to be placed within women's health services, providing vulnerable Tasmanians with help for a variety of issues.
The majority of the people that we see are dealing with parenting arrangement difficulties. Or needing to apply for family violence orders.
It's a $1.2 million over the coming years, and this will extend the services, particularly in the north and northwest.
More than 500 women have accessed the program in the past 6 months, with more than 5,000 legal issues being addressed. Fire has caused significant damage to a home in Gagebrook. Fire crews from Bridgewater and Glenorchy able to bring the flames quickly under control. Smoke could be seen from surrounding suburbs, but there was no threat to public safety. No one was at the Tottenham Road property at the time. Investigators are working to determine the cause. Music and the arts are in the spotlight from tonight in Launceston as Junction Arts Festival returns. Reporter Annie Green is amongst the action, and Annie, revellers are shaking off their winter blues.
They are, Kim. There is a chill in the air tonight, but the action is starting to heat up at this 14th edition of the Springtime Classic. Whale Tale is wrapping up as we speak, and the bands are about to kick off for the opening night music. I spoke with Festival Director Beck Birrell a short time ago about what to expect over the weekend. Beck, I'm hearing the tickets are selling fast.
They really are, which is fantastic, and it's just a testament to how much people love Junction and a testament to the amazing program. It's so immersive, engaging, there's so much in there, really something for like everyone. We say that, but there is kids stuff, there's people who want to party, there's music, there's visual art and performance. So yes, get onto the website and grab your tickets.
Eventually they parted and went off to search. It looks like a really good weekend ahead, Kim. All of the action wraps up on Sunday.
Okay, you enjoy your night. Thanks, Annie. Well, calls for flow-through salmon hatcheries to be shut down continue unabated. A Brisbane angler joining the Tasmanian Greens fight. He says he conducted his own EPA-approved water test while on holiday, claiming he found evidence of environmental impacts along the South Esk River caused by a hatchery.
Plenty of reed beds, plenty of insect life above the hatchery. Below the hatchery, there was nil.
So we are calling on the Minister, at a minimum, to put the monitoring in above and below so we can find out what's really happening in Tasmania's rivers.
A government spokesperson says it's developing a policy to phase out the practice. Tasmania Police have recruited more eyes across Hobart's CBD, making new use of a multi-million-dollar camera system. Access to a live CCTV portal is helping to curb crime, and it's already proved life-saving.
This close-up of Hobart's Elizabeth Street Mall, one of many locations now under the watchful eye of police.
It allows us to view in real time the CCTV, to also play back, record, download footage for evidentiary purposes.
Tasmania Police are now immediately able to track criminals responsible for theft, youth crime and antisocial behaviour, using hundreds of council-owned cameras offering around 330 different angles of the CBD. And it's already led to arrests.
A use for monitoring behaviour in the CBD. We can monitor any incidents that might be occurring. We can monitor public events.
We've invested $1.8 million recently in new cameras and upgraded cameras.
The new live portal was even used to track down 18 hikers who were stranded on Mount Wellington in dangerous conditions 2 weeks ago. Authorities are adamant the cameras aren't hidden or a secret, visible to the eye if you just look up, with hopes they'll help prevent just as many crimes as they'll help solve.
They're in public spaces, so certainly not. The cameras are quite openly visible around the CBD. I'm sure everyone's aware that there are multiple cameras in and around the city.
They've become part of modern life and they do help to solve crimes and to keep the public safe.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
A program which encourages women to get active has marked its 20-year anniversary, fostering improved wellbeing outcomes for people across Tasmania. The Get Active program, or GAP as it's known, includes 10 weeks of various workshops and physical activity.
GAP is delivered 20 times around the state each year, sometimes a few more, and we cover everywhere from Flinders Island to Ouse.
More than 4,000 participants have registered with the program since it began. Well, 7 Tasmania News has been given an exclusive sneak peek at the internationally acclaimed Paper on Skin exhibition. This year's showcase at Devonport is expanding its offering, celebrating the magic of the medium.
Cutting it fine to be ready in time. Stephanie Reynolds and her team are busily preparing to put a new universe on show, creating a fantasy land entirely out of paper.
About 180 square metres of forest.
They've spent months working to bring the vision to life, using all kinds of paper from crepe to massive rolls salvaged from Bernie's old mill. The project enlisting 400 people from across the state's north.
Some people have picked up paper from me and taken it home and worked on it in their kitchens or had parties and worked on it with workmates.
The intrepid artists have lost count of how many objects they've made, but they're sure the fabulous forest will wow crowds.
It's going to feel like a really kind of ancient, moody forest with a lot of colour, and it's going to look really contemporary.
The universe opening up in collaboration with Paper on Skin, the wearable art event going global.
We've got 11 countries represented. Oh, I've created a monster, I think.
Most of the pieces are still under wraps, but we've been given a sneak peek behind the curtain ahead of opening night. This kimono has been woven with hand-rolled paper threads, an art form still practiced in Japan.
And they are amazing. You really have to see them. It's just, people have used every technique you could possibly think of.
Organisers hoping the show will spark a greater appreciation for the art form.
You're only limited by your imagination.
Opening night is Saturday. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News. A special Sunday soiree is locked in at the Moona Arts Centre, featuring popular live performances from some of the state's best drag artists, taking to the stage with hopes of raising $15,000 for cancer prevention and research across Tasmania.
We love playing wacky videos and doing question time with the audience, but more than anything else, it's a chance to sing and have a good time.
All of the funds that they're aiming to raise are going to stay here in Tasmania to help us deliver our programs and services for all Tasmanians and all cancers.
The show has been running for 2 years, already proving a huge success.
The final curtain will draw on the TSL Saturday, but not before what's expected to be a cracker of a Bombers versus Bombers grand final clash. Lauderdale will head up the Midland Highway to face North Launceston at home, not just for premiership glory, but for the honour of taking the league's last piece of silverware.
North Launceston is hoping to raise the TSL Cup on Saturday for a perfect season that'll be a battle of the Bombers. But coach Adrian Smith isn't leaning too hard on their undefeated status.
I'm really comfortable with the body of work that we've done, particularly over the last 4 weeks with our training standards and how we've prepared.
The Northern Bombers have played 10 grand finals in 11 years, with a win this weekend seen as a fitting conclusion to a league they've dominated. North Lonnie's captain says UTAS Stadium will see a stop-start brand of footy.
It's going to be a very stoppage-based game, probably won and lost in the centre of the ground and around the ground at every stoppage there is.
But it's Lauderdale's grit and determination that shone through on their 1-point preliminary final win against Clarence last weekend. The Southern Bombers relishing the underdog status.
I think we embraced that pretty well, and it fuels us. At the end of the day, if you're getting the underdog tag, people think you can't win. And I think that's the bit that's fueling us.
Lauderdale to pull on their Heritage Cats jersey for the final TSL final. Captain Nat Franklin admitting it's adding an extra spark.
It really does mean a lot to the football club, and to be able to wear that this week I think is pretty special. It's the first time wearing it in a granny, and it means a lot to a lot of the players.
A grand final that'll go down in history one day in September. Will Body, 7 Tasmania News.
Reigning WNCL Player of the Year Nicola Carey is confident her side is ready for the upcoming season. She says pre-season games against other states have set the Tigers up well as they prepare to head into their first match in Perth next week.
Yeah, hopefully we've learnt a few things and we've improved on last season and we can take it into this year.
The side also hoping a round 1 win can set up a 4th consecutive WNCL title. And Kim, that's all in sport. And I have to say, it's a little bit odd seeing you in person. I don't get to see that often.
I know, it's been a while, hasn't it? Good to see you, Michael. Well, Jackie Harvey will join us after the break with a weather forecast.
Good evening. 14 in Devonport today, 13 across Burnie and Launceston, Hobart reaching 12. 15 was the state's top in Friendly Beaches, Smithton and Lowhead 13, and 14 about Flinders Island and St Helens. Across the state today shows a frontal cloud band moving to the east with a cold air mass lying to the north and west. Further out, most of southern and central Australia remains cloud-free with low cloud lying over eastern Queensland. Tomorrow shows a cold front approaching Tasmania from the southwest. West to northwesterly winds tomorrow 20 to 30 knots, reaching 40 knots about the south. Swells up to 7 metres in the west and south and up to 2 metres in the north. A severe weather warning for damaging winds is current for the Furneaux Islands, a gale warning for the central north, Flinders Island, west coast and lower east coast, a strong wind warning for Norfolk Bay, Channel and upper east coast, a minor flood warning for the River Derwent. There's a bush walkers weather alert for Western and Central Plateau forecast districts and a warning to sheep graziers for the north, west coast, Midlands and southeast forecast districts. Tomorrow's forecast now, Hobart and Huonville 14 and showers, a shower or two in Campania. In the north, Launceston showers and 13, windy with showers across Devonport and Georgetown. Burnie and Strawn tomorrow showers, Wynyard 14 and showers. St Helens a possible shower and partly cloudy conditions across Swansea and Port Arthur. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now, Saturday showers mostly about the west and far south. Sunday showers statewide with snow falling to 700 metres and Monday showers about the north and west. 22 and sunny in Perth tomorrow, showers and 17 in Adelaide and showers increasing in Melbourne. And currently Hobart, partly cloudy, 6 degrees, Launceston 9 and Devonport clear and 8. That's all in weather tonight, Kim.
Well, that wraps up tonight's bulletin. Thanks for your company this Thursday. For now, it's good night.